13, Day 6. The players coaches never forget. Welcome to JV Matters. I'm Coach. This isn't just about football, it's about building young men. Every practice, every challenge, every lesson is an opportunity to develop character, leadership, and purpose. Whether you're a coach, player, or parent, I'm glad you're here today. Let's get started. So, the quote of today is: leaders aren't born, they're made. And they are made just like anything else through hard work, by Vince Lombardi. So Coach Vince Lombardi understood that greatness isn't reserved for a select few. It's built one day at a time through commitment, discipline, and the willingness to keep improving. That's what we've been talking about through the last couple of days through this chapter. So the players coaches never forget. As we close out chapter 13, I want to talk a little bit about each coach understands, or what something coaches understand, I should say. There are there are players you'll remember because they were great athletes. Maybe they scored the winning touchdown. Maybe they broke school records. Maybe they earned scholarships. Those players deserve to be remembered. They'll always be remembered. They may even have their names up on the school wall, on the plaques, in the trophy case. But they're not always the first players that come to mind. The players I remember the most are a little bit different. They're the ones who changed, the ones who stood out. They're the players who were coachable. They're the ones who helped change the culture in the program. I remember the player who struggled the first year but refused to quit. I remember the player who wasn't the most talented, but because of his hard work, he was one of the hardest workers on the team. I remember the player who started encouraging his teammates instead of complaining. I remember the player who became the leader because he earned the respect of everyone around him. He didn't demand the respect, he earned it. Just because you're captain on the team doesn't mean your players need to respect you. You have to earn it. Because the coach says you're a captain doesn't mean you earned that spot. You have to earn it. Your players have to trust you. Don't point fingers. Those are the players that stand out. Those are the players that stay with you. Not because of what they accomplished on the field, but because of who they became. The leaders. As coaches, we're fortunate we get to watch young men grow. Sometimes the growth happens quickly. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years before they fully understand what they learned during their time in our program. But it happens. Years after graduation, former players often reach out. They'll tell you about their family, their careers, their children, and sometimes they'll even say that every coach treasures. Coach, I didn't understand it back then, but I do now. Moments like that remind you why you coach. That's one of the biggest reasons why I stick around, to help the next generation, to help improve the culture of the program, to keep the culture going. Players give us a front row seat to growth. We see confidence develop. We see discipline develop. We see leadership develop. We have a camp coming up here in the next week. We're going to see a lot of growth over the next 4 days during camp. On the trip down there, while at camp, and then on the trip back. You're going to see, we're going to see, as coaches, lots of development with our players. Players are going to do things that they didn't think they could do. They are going to get that aha moment. during camp. And sometimes we see young men begin to believe in himself for the very first time. And that's what's going to happen at camp. Some of these players are going to get that aha moment. And that's the privilege. It's also a responsibility to every player watching today to understand this. Your coaches aren't just trying to win a football game. Oh, don't get me wrong, we want to win. And we put every effort toward it as a JV football coach. But that's not our main goal. The good ones are trying to prepare you for life. Things after football, because some of you, most of you, won't even put on these pads after your senior year. Every practice has a purpose. Every correction has a purpose. Every challenge has a purpose. Because one day, you'll face challenges far bigger than a football game, far bigger than a practice. When that day comes, I hope you remember the lessons you learned here. Success isn't measured only by championships. It's measured by the kind of husband you'll become, the kind of father you'll become, the kind of employee, teammate, neighbor, and or citizen you'll become. What kind of friend are you? That's the scoreboard that really matters. As a coach, I've learned something that becomes clearer every season. Trophies eventually collect dust. Record books eventually get broken. People eventually forget scores, but they'll never forget how someone made them feel. They'll never forget the coach who believed in them. They'll never forget the teammate who picked them up after a mistake. That's a leader. That's where leadership comes in. And they'll never forget the lessons that helped shape their life. So here's my challenge to every player out there. Don't chase popularity. Don't chase statistics. Don't chase recognition, because those will come. They'll come by doing your job, showing up every day, showing up to practice, helping your teammate out, doing your job. Those things will come. Chase excellence. Chase integrity. Chase becoming the kind of person people can trust. Because if you do that, the wins will take care of themselves. And even if football ends tomorrow, you'll be a success. So here's my final thought today. When people talk about football careers from now, I hope they don't remember the players you were. I hope they remember the person you became. Because that's the true purpose of coaching. That's the true purpose of football. And that's why this chapter has never really been about sports. It's been about people. So thank you for joining me for chapter 13. Tomorrow we'll begin chapter 14. Discipline beats motivation, where we'll talk about why success isn't built on feelings. It's built on habits and consistency. Thank you for watching JV Matters. If you believe football is about developing character as much as developing athletes, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with a coach, parent, or player who commits to building better young men through the game of football. Until next time, keep leading, keep serving, and never forget, JV matters, because it's never been about football. And you all have an outstanding day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.